your stance must be right as far as your pivot. You start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather recently paid a visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, bringing with him decades of ring wisdom. During the session, Mayweather shared key insights from his 2013 victory over Canelo Alvarez, focusing on speed, sharp defense, and precision counter-punching. He advised Crawford to use angles and footwork to neutralize Canelo's power. Having already beaten Canelo, Mayweather's guidance could prove to be a critical edge for Crawford as he steps into the biggest fight of his career.
You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. Just double jab. Triple jab.
At a recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back when assessing Crawford's resume. He claimed that Crawford has yet to face a fighter of his caliber and questioned the level of opposition Crawford has beaten. While the comments may have seemed harsh, they were calculated, classic psychological warfare designed to plant seeds of doubt. Canelo was asserting his dominance and reminding both Crawford and the public that he's not just any opponent, he's a seasoned warrior with an elite legacy.
Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna
you.
be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stuff a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Max Kellerman weighed in with a technical breakdown of both fighters. He praised Crawford's jab as one of the sharpest in the sport today, contrasting it with Canelo's once dominant jab, which has lost some of its snap over time. Kellerman argued that Crawford's timing and ring IQ could pose serious problems for Canelo, especially if the fight becomes a chess match rather than a slugfest. In Kellerman's view, skill and strategy could outweigh sheer size and strength.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, you know, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. Size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of the legendary Muhammad Ali, voiced strong support for Crawford. He spoke highly of Crawford's character, discipline, and craft in the ring, calling him a true professional and a worthy representative of boxing excellence. Coming from someone tied to such an iconic boxing lineage, this endorsement carries weight. It reflects the respect Crawford commands not just for his record, but for how he conducts himself inside and outside the ring.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Despite the tension, Canelo Alvarez has shown professional respect toward Crawford. He acknowledged that when two fighters operate at the highest level, weight differences can sometimes fade in importance because true champions adapt. Canelo made it clear he's taking Crawford seriously, committing to the hardest camp possible. He knows this isn't a fight he can win on natural ability alone. Strategy and top-tier conditioning will be essential.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But you know, I've been in his situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you are a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is a very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reversed. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in every.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult gave a fair assessment of both sides. He highlighted Canelo's physical strength and relentless training as reasons for his continued dominance. But he also pointed out Crawford's wrestling background, which gives him a deeper understanding of leverage, control, and defensive timing. Showbiz believes Crawford's skill set is unique, but still gave a slight edge to Canelo, mainly due to his size and championship experience at higher weights.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bibble like Bibble was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it. But he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We in the zone, war.
Heavyweight Jermell Miller offered a passionate perspective, openly rooting for Crawford. He believes Crawford's hunger, focus, and drive will help him overcome any physical disadvantage. Miller downplayed concerns about size, arguing that raw determination can often defy expectations. For Miller, Crawford's mental toughness might be the X factor in this high-stakes battle.
A huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though, but I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
Many boxing insiders agree this isn't just another fight for Crawford. It's a legacy-defining opportunity. Beating a dominant champion like Canelo would erase any lingering doubts and cement Crawford's status among the all-time greats. To succeed, he'll need to stick to his strengths: a high ring IQ, disciplined execution, and a refusal to take unnecessary risks. Patience, timing, and adaptability will be the foundation of his strategy.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford, you know. So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, you gotta work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But what I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
It feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore.
You need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
Crawford has made it clear he's not just looking to win on points. He wants a knockout. That ambition, especially against a bigger, more powerful fighter, shows the kind of mindset he's bringing to this fight. Crawford's performance at 154 pounds proved he could handle bigger men, and while 168 is another leap, his skill set and experience suggest he's up for the challenge.
Bud Crawford is taking his undefeated record, putting it on the line, daring to be great, to try and knock off Saul Canelo Alvarez from his throne and go and try to do something that no man has ever done, and that is to be a 3-division undisputed champion. That's a tall task. We know that Canelo Alvarez has fought fighters way bigger than Bud Crawford. It's actually one of the biggest talking points in this fight is the size. Canelo Alvarez has fought guys like Bivol. He's fought guys like Kovalev. He's fought guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought really big fighters who are established at their weight classes all the way up to light heavyweight. And we know that Bud has come from a smaller weight class, being a champion all the way down at the 135-pound division into 140, 147. But as you can see in the tail of the tape, Bud is actually taller. Bud actually has a bigger reach. And quite frankly, he did most recently fight in the 154-pound division. And I don't think he will struggle to make weight to be at 168 and fight as a super middleweight. The question is, though, is bone structure. Who's going to carry that weight more effectively? We know that Canelo Alvarez has been in the weight longer, and as I mentioned, he's fought bigger guys. It's really something amazing for Bud if he's able to pull this off.
Edgar Berlanga offered some sound advice for Crawford: don't change what works. He cautioned against trying to overcompensate for the size difference, reminding Crawford to stay true to the style that's brought him this far. Berlanga believes that when two elite fighters meet, even with a size gap, it naturally levels the playing field. For him, Crawford's decision to move up 2 divisions shows heart, not recklessness.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a 2-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, there's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in the fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power. I'm a feel that size difference, you know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. He's putting himself, testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him, you know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys. You know, so I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50.
UK Boxing Voice's Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie emphasized just how rare this matchup is. In today's era, where top fighters often avoid each other, Crawford versus Canelo stands out as a true mega fight. These are the moments boxing fans live for, when greatness faces greatness. They praised Crawford's ability to make mid-fight adjustments, something he's done consistently to outsmart elite opponents. That adaptability could be key in neutralizing Canelo's strengths.
This is a huge fight that's coming up. I really like Terence Crawford. I think, you know, we were talking about coaches breaking down film. I think that Terence does a good job of that, breaking his opponent down in the fight. I think that he does a good job of adjusting. I do think that, you know, Canelo is a big feat ahead of him, because I also like Canelo. Like, it's kind of one of those things, like, who do I like before the fight? It's gonna be a really good fight. I like both of them. I think that, you know, that is something that I think women's boxing does a good job of, is putting on fights like that. Like, we'll fight whoever. So I think it's cool to see the men starting to do more of that, like it historically has always been.
Tim Sayo gave a thoughtful take on the fight. He noted that while Canelo's approach can sometimes become predictable, it leaves openings for a cerebral fighter like Crawford. Sayo also acknowledged that the intense pre-fight banter is mostly theater, meant to build hype. But he sees Crawford's skill set as potentially decisive. Crawford himself knows what's on the line. He's fully aware this is a fight that could define his entire legacy, for better or worse.
Made him this great. Do you think that this is a similar thing for your fight now at this point in your career, stepping up and facing someone like Canelo? Does this kind of make you unbeatable and this figure that will just go down in history?
I don't know. I don't know about comparing it to his situation, but it will be a situation where I'll be talked about for many decades to come, and definitely go down in the history books as one of the best fighters to ever lace up the glove.
Terence Crawford has given a measured forecast of his chances, putting his odds of winning at about 70%. That number reflects a blend of confidence and realism. He's fully aware of the threat Canelo poses, especially in terms of experience and physicality. But Crawford believes in his preparation, his vision, and his ability to rise to the moment.
You're 100% certain you're going to win?
We never 100%.
What percentage are you?
70.
To say 70% chance, it just doesn't sound that confident. But I want to say this, though. He was being truthful. He knows how important this fight is. And it's that important because it is very difficult. So him saying this is difficult, and I'm giving myself a 70% chance, which is why I'm doing it. It is not because I'm bigger than him and this is easy and I'm stronger than him actually and people don't understand that I'm more skillful. No, he's a beast. And this has never been done. And this is not a sure thing. And that's why I'm so eager to do it. That's the definition of greatness. That's why he should be on the Mount Rushmore if he accomplishes it. That's why Terence Crawford is.
That wraps up today's coverage. The stage is set, the tension is building, and history is waiting to be made. Stay locked in for more updates, expert insights, and behind-the-scenes coverage as we count down to this epic clash. Until next time, thanks for watching, and keep your guard up.